a difference that is, huh? From last year to this year. Well, when camp was canceled, the leaders went through a lot of different alternatives. The most promising one was the virtual AI camp experience that Sean developed, and it simulated every waking minute of Boys 3. But as you may have heard, it was destroyed when Keith flooded the tunnel's server farm while testing the morning dip. So sorry about that. But we were undaunted. We kept going, eventually settled on Plan V. And the good thing is you won't need to buy any special goggles. So this is kind of a combination of a welcome video and a chapel talk. And usually in the first night's chapel, I usually give suggestions about how to have a great week of camp. But this year the question is more like, how do we adjust? How do we adjust to the situation we find ourselves in? And we asked ourselves, kind of, what are we going to miss? And we came up things on the island and all the people that come together for our week at camp. So we'll put together an envelope and we'll give one to every camper. So you may have already received yours or you'll be getting it in the next few days. But I'd like to kind of go through some of the things that are in there and maybe why we included them. The sand first. You can't avoid the sand at camp. It gets into everything. And some of it always goes home with you. So we thought, hey, we can give them the sand that would have gone home with them. And if you're concerned whether this sand really is from Onaway, we included a certificate of authenticity signed by Boys 3 geomorphologist Esker Kame, who has a number of geologic features named after him. And I think he was a Boys 3 camper back in the 40s or 50s, something like that. Yeah. There's also some food-related items. So we put in a little bag of uncooked Onaway Odies. This is the stuff camp songs are made of, are written about. Well, okay, one song. That song that Adam wrote many years ago. Onaway Odies, Onaway Odies. Was it stuck in your head yet? And we thought we could show you a couple of different serving suggestions for the for that oatmeal. You could cook and eat it like we do at camp. Or you could do what Kelly did, where he made little social distancing circles for all of his tiny soldiers. Or you could make a chipmunk feeding station. Think about all the times we use oatmeal at camp to line out things like capture the flag or starting lines or something else. And it's usually gone within a couple of days because the chipmunks are eating them. The other food item is a recipe for Rice Krispie drop cookies that we make at camp. Jason provided this recipe for us. And at camp, in the chore staff, there's a role called the wiper. And the wiper is the person who bakes the cookies. So when you go through a lunch line next time and find some cookies you really like, say, hey, tell the wiper the cookies are great. We included 2 different sizes of the recipe. A size for you and your family to bake at home. It makes about 4 dozen. The other, in case you want to bring enough for everyone at camp next year, makes about 24 dozen. And I actually made these about a week ago in the Plan V test kitchen, and they're still good. They really taste great. So when you're looking for something to do, make some cookies. These are good. There's also a Choco Taco coupon in the envelope. You can redeem it next year at Boys 3. I'm not going to be showing you the coupon because these videos are just the thing counterfeiters love. They scour the internet looking for these things. They make counterfeit coupons, and it just ruins it for everybody. So just keep that in mind. But remember, the coupon's legit, and don't forget to bring it next year. Also food related, we included a couple napkins from the Boys 3 napkin dispensers. And we know that you really miss having to clean those napkin dispensers, right? So even though we can't send you a napkin dispenser, we can send you spare napkins so that you can think about how you would clean that napkin dispenser. And then who checks the napkin dispenser at the end of the meal during table inspection? The leaders do, right? Every package includes 1 leader trading card. There are 40 different leader trading cards we have this year. You can collect and trade them with your friends. On one side is the face of the leader, and the other side has some hashtags as well as some alternative facts about that leader. So if you happen to run into one of these leaders at the supermarket, go ahead and ask them, do you confirm or deny any of these facts on here? We also ask the leaders to write notes to you guys, personal notes if possible, about something that we remember about you from camp last year. For those of you guys that are going to be coming for the first time, we're really welcoming you and looking forward to seeing you next year. The last item on there was the cabin assignments. So even though we weren't going to have camp this year, we went ahead and figured out who was going to be in cabin 1, who the cabin leaders were going to be, and who was going to be in which cabin and in which tribe. So you can take a look, see where you would have ended up. Who do you think would have won? Which tribe would have won? Even though we couldn't have camp, we thought you guys should know who we would have chosen to be in cabin 1 and who we chosen to be the cabin leaders, because we think highly of all those guys, and we wanted to make sure that they knew that we were thinking about them this year. That takes care of pretty much everything in the envelope except the patch. Because it's a special year, we've commissioned a special patch called the Camp V. Since we can't have regular camp, if we can't give out Camp A's and we can't give out Camp O's, and this is just another innovation from our incredibly inventive Boys 3 leaders, and these patches are only available at Boys 3. So we hope you enjoy that, and even though you couldn't have gotten one of the other ones, this is something unique to this year. So we hope these things remind you of camp. If this would have been your first year, hang on to this stuff anyways. We think you'll come to appreciate them in the years to come. So now let's talk about the people. So how do we adjust to not being together at camp? Just because we aren't together on the island doesn't mean that we can't see each other. Throughout the week, we'll be releasing videos through the Boys 3 Facebook page. They won't necessarily be every day. I can tell you about some of the ones that I know we're going to be releasing during the week. Sunday morning at camp, we usually have pancakes, right? And what happens after the meal's over and we need to start cleaning up and we've got that syrup on our plates? We get a special presentation of Syrup Science Sunday. And this year is going to be even more special because Jason recorded it at a pub in England. Monday, campfire is usually leader hunt, right? And before we go hunting the leaders, we have a reading of the rules. So Zach will be reading the rules of leader hunt this year, and I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions, like he always does. Tuesday, Parker Schlick will be hosting an online game of Coup. It's a bluffing game, and there's an online version of it available. So we'll be posting a link to a video that Parker put together of he and his friends playing the game, as well as expert commentary on why they made the choices they did during the course of the gameplay. He's also provided rules and some explanation of how to get online, and we'll be posting that either later today or on Sunday. So keep in mind that that game will be first held on Tuesday. Wednesday night will be Leader Campfire. That skit and or skits are being worked on right now by the leaders. And then Thursday, video secrecy begins. We don't know what the videos will be for the rest of the week. Got a couple ideas, but we're going to surprise you and ourselves probably. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to have contests. So each contest is your chance to show us your smiling face. And 2 contests are already open. You may have noticed this in your envelope. One is the Will Nesbitt Memorial Fishing Contest. And Riley Krieger, who was the 2019 Blackfeet Chief, has already sent in this photo of a bluegill he caught. Unfortunately, he's been disqualified because 1, he's now a leader. B, he caught it before the contest began. And C, it's not really a bluegill. Is it, Riley? The other contest that's already open is the scavenger hunt. There's a list in your envelope of items to find. Include anybody in your household to find these items around your house and check off each item as you find it. And then at the end of the week, take a picture of you and maybe your family with all the items that you found and the checklist. And those will be submitted by Saturday, and we'll announce the winners on Sunday. Each day we'll announce a new contest. These contests actually are open now, but we're just going to announce them once a day to remind you that they're available. And the full list of these is at the bottom of the scavenger hunt list. So you can start on them anytime, but again, the deadline for all of them is at the end of the day on Saturday, July 18th. I mentioned before, we would love to see you guys too. So when you post these pictures, include your family if you'd like. And finally, we have one last request for you to have a great week. Suggestion. To have a great week and to stay safe in these unusual times. It's a new verse to a song we're all familiar with. And it goes like this. Up to Runaway Island, it's a special place to be. So many things to learn about, so many things to do and see. Giving each other a helping hand, washing our hands for the good of our clan. Together we wash, together we pray, we'll all be back to camp someday. Together we wash, together we pray, we'll all be back to camp someday. 2, 3, 4.